Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late April 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Geminis. I hope you're all doing fabulous, my friends. Let's shuffle it up one time, see what we have for you this week. Talk to me, my guides. What do we got for Gemini here in late April? And yeah, we're going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get this first card popping. What do we got? My God, so what's up with Gemini, please? Okay, nice and quick. So you do have this beautiful mental activeness and creativity showing up right here on the front end, which is good. Now, I know Geminis are generally seen as a cerebral sign, but this has a little bit of a different edge to it. But I'm feeling pretty positive things. Before we fully dive into that, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the April subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button, if it's tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Have a look at this card. So this does show up from time to time for other signs. Generally, I see this a lot for water signs. So you see that art model, you see the different paintings, the sculptures. This is an extremely creative type of energy. So when I see this at the front end of every reading, it does generally speak of a mental activeness. You might be feeling extra creative in this time. You could be having great ideas, whether it's business ideas or literal creativity. Now, one thing I will say about this card is if your mind is going a little extra, or if you're high strung, wound tight, whatever it might be, Spirit could be urging you to create something. Doesn't mean you have to jump in and start making a sculpture out of marble or anything like that. It could be something as normal as writing things, journaling, you know, writing music, whatever creativity is for you. Bringing something out of the realm of idea into physical manifestation is represented with this card. Once again, if not, it could just represent the mental activity, right? Which, like I always say, air signs are generally known for being cerebral individuals. But let's get into tarot now. I'm going to get you 3 cards in the upright, then we'll get the intuitive juiciness flowing. And I always say with the first card, it never makes or breaks the reading. It's just a little footnote for us to start off with. Shuffle it up one time, see what we have for you in late April. Talk to me, my guides. What's going on with Gemini? So, last week's reading, my friends, was pretty positive. It was titled Exciting News Incoming. So hopefully you did have some exciting news. If not, remember that energy could still bleed over into the next couple of weeks. So the energy was just looking luscious to me. Now, one thing I will note, in recent weeks, past month or so, the Gemini readings have been very up and down. Whereas one week we have amazing, beautiful energy. Then next week we have some challenges, but we're going to keep it optimistic. We're going to hope for the best this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone, so only take it how it hits for you. Because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's. Let's get you 3. Thank you. Okay, Magician. Wow. Talk about creative. Like, this is literally creating things. This is nice, Gemini. I think this is a good, powerful way to start off a reading. And I feel like there is power in that card. Manifesting, creating your reality. This is really nice. Okay, 9 of Wands. You might be very skeptical about someone, whether their motives or behaviors, their actions, when the 9 of Wands shows up. We'll have to speak about this, my friends. Let's get one more. You might be very protective about something you're creating or fostering as well. Let's get you one more. Okay. 9 of Cups. Wow. So repeating 9s, this is beautiful wish fulfillment here. Now, for a portion of, you know what, I'll speak about this in a moment, because this, I find this super intriguing. Let's go through, I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get that juicy, intuitive stuff flowing. Now, at first glance, when we look down here, there's a couple of things I notice already. We have repeating 9s. You might want to look into the numerology of 9. You might be seeing repeating numbers of different kinds in this time. So there might be omens and things like that. Spirit could be trying to speak to you in different ways. But one thing I'm seeing here with the different elemental mixes, we have this creator. One thing that could go very positive, another thing that could be a bit challenging. So just like that seesaw of energy we've been seeing in recent weeks, it's showing up in the flesh here. But position number 1, the Magician. This is a big card of creating one's reality, right? Literally manifesting something. Now, this doesn't mean that you're just going to think of something and it's going to appear. This is more about training your mind, your thought process, your actions to create the reality you want, okay? Your powers of manifesting could be extremely heightened in this time. So what you put forth, you could receive in return, which is why I see this little interesting duality of energy here. I mean, Spirit could be really telling you, like, listen, try to keep your mind in check, or stay optimistic, stay positive when this card shows up. Other things that represent the Magician, because remember, every card has positive and negative. It could represent control. So this could be a controlling individual, someone who needs to have control of situations and how they turn out. There's also undertones of spirituality here with the Magician, ritual, anything in that realm. So you could be extra tapped into spiritual things in this time when the Magician shows up. Just try to keep it light. That's the one thing I will say. I'm not going to go further until we get more cards. Now, moving to the center, we have the Nine of Wands. Like I was saying, you might be a little skeptical of someone. The classic name of this card, what a lot of readers call it, is the Wounded Warrior. Someone that's been through a lot of mess. They don't want to go through it again. This is someone who could be very much on guard or territorial. You could be feeling protective over something, whether it is what you're creating, your happiness, where you want to go. But there is this little skepticism here. You might have your eye on someone like, I'm watching you when this Nine of Wands shows up. Like, something might be a little off when this card shows up. But it's just skepticism. We are definitely going to want to get more detail out of it. And you see, I think you see what I'm meaning here, that we have this extremely powerful energy here with the repeating numbers that could go either way as we press forward through this reading. Now, on the back end, we have our good friend, the Nine of Cups, John Travolta himself. Look how happy he is right there. Super happy with all those cups. So, whereas this Nine of Wands is extremely skeptical, on edge, I'm watching you, this one is very much inviting. Like, hey, come on in, grab one of these cups, right? It's welcoming, it's warm, it's caring. When we see the Nine of Cups, it is a card of wish fulfillment, having all that you could want. So there's an interesting duality here, that there could be challenges, there could be warnings, but there could also be massive rewards and gains with this power we have in the front end. This is an extremely interesting reading this week, Gemini. So with all that being said, I want to dive deeper. I think we need some more detail. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, we're going to get a good shuffle here, my friends. What do we got for Gemini, please? My gods, talk to me. And yes, Gemini, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Magician here. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Gemini, you could drop it down in the comments. Okay, what do we got here for my friends? What's going on this Magician? The cards want to talk to you. They're trying to jump out of my hands already. Thank you. Okay. All right, listen, this Page of Pentacles in the upright is like the epitome of what we were seeing in last week's reading. About news, good things, good talks incoming. For a lot of you, this is really nice. You could be trying to manifest some sort of new beginning, new cycle, or something along those lines here with the Page of Pentacles. Because remember, they're students, they're messengers. But this is talking as well. So a portion of you might literally be trying to manifest some sort of communication with another person here. Or this could be a very deep conversation, because remember I was saying the Magician is extremely powerful with the communication of this. There could be some sort of like powerful, important talk or conversation that you have or you need to have in this time when this card shows up. But this is beautiful energy when I see this Page of Pentacles, and I feel like for a lot of you, remember I said if exciting news or good news could be incoming, that energy could bleed over. We're literally seeing that here. If not, a lot of you are like really wanting something fresh or a new beginning of some sort when I see that. But we're going to press forward. I don't feel like I need to overcomplicate this message. It's very, very easy. And another thing I'm just getting right now, a lot of you could have a big interest in trying to commune with the unseen or the spirit side. Okay, or spirit could be asking you to lean into that, like speak to your guide, speak to your spirit team. If that's not something you normally do, they might want to hear from you a little more. Okay, I'm not saying you have to get down and pray old school style, but communing with the other side. Let's keep moving. I don't want to muddy up the waters here. We're getting a lot of things, Gemini. Let's go in on that Nine of Wands. Why's that Nine of Wands here? Okay. So why is that here, please? Thank you. There it is, my friends. We got the Seven of Swords in position number 2. Yeah, everything you would think about that Nine of Wands energy. This could be someone that's like nervous to get duped in some sort of way, or someone that is very much on guard. And I'll explain why I'm feeling this energy here. The Seven of Swords is the card of, yes, it could be surprise. So this could be someone that has a little bit of a fear of the unknown, fear of the future. But the Seven of Swords is also snakes, thieves, a liar. When we see it, like you see this person stealing the swords right here in the spread, and with the Nine of Wands, like some of you could be very much on high alert over a specific individual, right? Like you might think somebody is a big snake here, okay? If not, Spirit could be asking you to keep your head on a swivel, like watch the company you keep, watch the people around you, because the Seven of Swords is a literal warning about that. Now, also, it can just represent the unseen things that are happening that you're not seeing for whatever reason. But in conjunction with this Nine of Wands, it is a literal warning to me about the company you keep and the people around you. So if you are skeptical of a person, if you are on edge or on guard about a person, your feelings might be right. We're going to move over to the Nine of Cups here, okay? Because I'm feeling like these are separate things, separate energies, separate happenstances going on. Let's see what's up with the Nine of Cups, then we'll do a quick recap of the whole thing. Because I wasn't expecting the Seven of Swords to pop there under the skepticism. But just watch the company you keep. Beware of certain people, certain individuals for sure. Let's go in on that Nine of Cups. Why is the Nine of Cups here? Yeah, you might just be very suspicious of a person too, for whatever reason. I mean, whatever it is, it's not going to slow you down, my friends. We have the Chariot in the upright. There might be some big things happening literally in Cancer season, so you might want to lock down the date. I know that's very close to Gemini season as well, but the Chariot is the card of Cancer. For a lot of you, might be like really trying to plan out some sort of trip or vacation, or like, let's get this going, let's get this moving. But when I see the Chariot, I think of one of the fastest action moving cards. So for a portion of you, yeah, you might just be very determined to reach this Nine of Cups type of happiness, wish fulfillment. But for another portion of you, this just feels huge right on the back end, and completely different than what we have here right in the center. Okay, like with all this action coming in, this could be saying like, hey, this Nine of Cups is coming to you like a chariot. The wins, the victories, they're huge, they're massive in their ways, all right? We've been picking up this powerful energy since the very beginning. So when I see the Chariot here under the Nine of Cups, maybe some of you just need a vacation too, right? I see how pleased this John Travolta guy is right there. So you might just need a break. You might need a rest, a relaxation. That could probably do you very well. But yeah, keep your eyes open in Cancer season, because there could be a lot of like good things happening around then. And once again, the massive energy of wins and victories is persisting here. So we have a bit of a mixed bag energy here this week, Gemini. Let's talk about it, because I feel like these could all be separate things. In position number 1, we have the Magician with the Page of Pentacles. This was giving me a lot of different feelings. Now, for a portion of you, this could still be that good or exciting news that could be coming in that we saw in last week's reading. For another portion of you, I did say maybe it's your spirit team. They want to commune with you a little bit more. You could literally be manifesting a new situation or a new beginning of some sort. Could even be trying to manifest a conversation with someone as well, because this could be a very deep, powerful convo. But in the center, this is where we get the bit of a curveball in this week's reading, because this energy sticks out like a sore thumb in comparison to the rest of it. We have the Nine of Wands with the Seven of Swords in the upright. There might be an individual that you're very skeptical about in this time, their motives, how they're acting, how they're behaving. So you might be keeping an eye, or a spirit could literally be warning you about the company you keep, asking you to get into Nine of Wands mode. Like, listen, watch out, just be that wounded warrior for a little bit. Just beware of the people you surround yourself with. But I feel like I don't even need to tell you that, because there could just be a person moving funny here, but it doesn't tank the whole reading. I don't feel like you're going to allow this to mess up your energy as a whole, because as we move to the back end, we have the Nine of Cups with the Chariot in the upright. So this wish fulfillment energy coming at you like a rocket. First and foremost, there could be big things happening in Cancer season for a lot of you, so maybe mark down the dates. I was also seeing that you might need a vacation or time to rest, relax. There could be something involving that on the back end. But the power, the huge, massive energy I'm feeling throughout, like a lot of you could be stacking different types of victories. So yeah, maybe you do have to keep your eye on certain people's, because some people could be a little jealous sometimes. But please, take a screenshot of that, look into it further. I'm going to get you one shadow card. So I feel like we were covering a lot of different bases there, Gemini. But let's see what's going on for my friends. Shuffle it up one time, my guides. What do we got for Gemini? And I'm using the Shadowland Tarot. This is an awesome deck for shadow work. So whether it's something within yourself or it's something you don't quite see, like that Seven of Swords guy, let's see what's in the shadows for Gemini, please. Nice and quick. Thank you. Ten of Cups. So you have a little warning about any sort of overindulgence when we have the Ten of Cups here. The shadow side of the Ten of Cups could also represent a person that is a little emotionally volatile as well. So watch the ups and downs in this time when we have the Ten of Cups. It could easily represent the household and the family. But when I see this card in the shadows, one of the main warnings is always that of overindulgence of any kind in this time. Now, I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to call any certain specific behavior out. But doing too much of anything is never a healthy thing, right? Or consuming too much of anything is never a healthy thing, even in personal relationships. So the Ten of Cups is asking you to tone something back and practice a little temperance, right? Now, for a portion of you, this could be Spirit saying the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So really make sure you're being very prudent with what you're manifesting, because be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it. That's the type of vibes here. So Gemini, do with that what you will. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the April subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the March subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced in my community tab at the end of the Fire Air readings this weekend. But for April, I'll be running it back and giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Tarot of the Owls. It's a brand new deck and it's a lot of fun to work with. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards in this week's reading, which ones spoke to you most. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of April, I'll put the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you next time.